Hello everyone, this is Fire. Welcome back to VtopiaSMP. We're actually over in the single player world right now because there's some things I want to check before our next build project because it will basically decide how I have to go about it. So we're building a villager farm and the first things I want to know is exactly how to get the villagers over to where we need them to be. So we have these mob catchers which I've been using to move mobs around. I've picked up a kangaroo, I picked up an elephant, picked up a whale, picked up a seal. A little bit of varying challenges between picking each thing up, seeing as unfortunately, picking up the whale is a bit challenging because it seems like what you had to pick up is the center hitbox and not the side, just punching them otherwise. But we're going to have a villager, and we just need to know we can pick them up with the mob catcher. Oh, alright. So, we're back onto the multiplayer server. I just recently found out I have a neighbor, which is really unfortunate because they decided to build right down the river where I was planning to extend to. It's fine because we can still build onto the spires. South from me is probably where we're going to direct most of our building now. It seems like someone else is building into here, going to see some wood here. But the plan originally, I've already marked it out a little bit, but I think I'm going to strip this down actually, is that I have a path that was originally going to lead up through here and up this spire with a water elevator to get up high enough. We need to go about 16 off the ground, so probably going to go about 20 was the original plan for the villager farm. But with the mob catcher, after a bit of testing that I did on the single player side, we can actually move hostile mobs with a netherite mob catcher. So normally this would be a bigger issue, seeing as I don't have a sheep farm set up, which is the quickest way to drill your way through the nether. But I do have the iron miner's hammer, which is the jobs plus hammer. It doesn't do a 9x9 blast of a bed, but it will do a 1x3, which will very quickly turn to a 3x3, which can very quickly turn to a 9x9 of netherite with how quickly netherite can be broken. So the plan today is actually going to, I'm going to need a flint and steel. You set up a temporary nether portal and we're going to go into the nether. So honestly, when you're in the nether and you're down the bottom, it's not actually that interesting. But we're going to have a look at the entry point of the nether together. If I think, did I not bring back a flint and steel? Apparently did not. So we're going to make a new flint and steel. And we're going to work our obsidian, make a good old portal and see where it leads us. I think we're going to just slap it on over there, away from everything. I'll make a more dedicated portal room at some point, but for now it's just going to sit over here. So I don't want to vein miner, so I'm just going to go ahead and bust. Oh, there is a stone. Hold up. We'll just put it against the terrain here so it doesn't look too out of place. So we'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Do I have any other blocks on me? I don't. I can use the scaffolding, I guess. 1, 2, 3. So just shit. Oh well, it got us up here. So scaffolding, and then 1, 2. Cool. Okay, that works. We'll get that obsidian out there at some point, but that's fine. It's not too important. All right, so let us take a look at what's in the nether. Sub-zero something or something. Oh, we're right next to trees. Cool. And we're right next to a lava pool. Okay, are we floating? The main problem is if we're floating, because yeah, we're floating. Oh, great. I have to find a way to get into the bottom of the nether, which is basically below the nether pools. What the heck is this? That's really tall. Okay, seems like there's some salt or ash or something. But I need to find a way to the bottom of the nether here. Is there anything that might... Okay, there's... Oh, those are zombie piglins, aren't they? Yeah, these are zombie piglins. They won't come after me. Am I slowed down on this? No, I'm slowed down on the carpeted bit of ash there. Seems like there's some other kind of block. Actually, we can take a look at it. What's this? Frost magma ash block. Does this hurt me? No, it's cold. Okay, cool. So it seems like we're floating, which is not ideal, but we're gonna look for a way down. I could have made a portal way down the bottom of the cave, but I actually have a way into the bottom of the cave right now. Because I tried to look for lava way down there, But looks like we're going to have to find some interesting way to get... Oh, crystals. Interesting. Down to the bottom. Might have to use a lot of sand. What is the... Wait, is that a... That's a nether fortress, isn't it? That's a nether fortress. Okay, I'm above a nether fortress. Interesting. Alright, so I'm going to work my way to the bottom of the nether. I might have to just drop a whole ton of sand and like gravel to try to just make my own tunnel, but we're going to find a way down there, then I'm going to get digging. Alright, so unfortunately my netherite excavation was a giant failure. We only have, where is it, 2 pieces, and you need at least 4 of these to turn it into 1 ingot. So I've already had to repair my hammer twice, and it's honestly kind of expensive because it requires blocks. So we're going to use the remainder of my blocks here to actually help us excavate the area needed for the villages. We're going to go with plan A, the original plan, which is to create the villager hub and the iron golem farm in one thing, and just basically not have a separate zombie-powered golem generator. So we're going to have to build this. I'm actually probably going to have to go to one elevator, original idea, go up halfway through the spire. We're going to build the actual building across this way, hang over the side, because there's elevator land on this side, and I need to keep it away from that to try and keep things from spawning. But we're still going to go about 20 up, and I need to go catch some villagers now. Alright, so I have one of the spires, well, one tunnel dug down through the spire, so we can now create our elevator. So the good thing is I'm right next to the ocean, which means I have access to kelp, which is the easiest way to make these elevators without ice. So we need the signs here to block the water from coming out. Then we're actually going to climb up to the top. We're going to put the water down, straight down the tunnel where we need it to go. I've got a little bit dug out here, as you'll see. We're going to have the building on this side, but we're going to drop the water down right here. This is where we want the elevator to come out, which is why we have it there. Then we're going to, what's actually the easiest way to go back down? We're going to go down through here. And then we're actually going to put a kelp down and then bone meal the absolute stuffing out of it, because we need it to grow up to the top. So now we can put a kelp into here. Whenever kelp, if you don't know this, touches any kind of water block, whether it's flowing or not, it turns into a source block. So it means that once we have this reach up to the top, which should be right there, these are now all source blocks. So we're going to knock out the dirt block and put in the soul sand instead, and this should turn into a elevator now. Yep, there we go. Up we go. Oh, wait. I thought I just saw a squid or something. But this is going to be our elevator, and then we're just going to knock down the second tunnel right next to it, and that will be our downward chute. And then we're going to start building the villager side on the other side of the spire, and that will be the main project for today, seeing as we're going to have to go with the old-fashioned way. Alright, so we now have the base of our collection point set up. So this is basically what it ends up looking like if you want to have golems spawning not in a general chute, but in a general area instead. So we have our base here. This is where the golems will spawn. They'll spawn as long as this block is full, which is a floor. They're gonna end up on top of the campfire, which I am presuming they'll land in. Otherwise, I'll have to switch that over to some kind of lava-based thing. I don't know if I have the materials to actually make lava fence gates to get them locked in there. I'll have to check, because that will be actually quicker and more efficient. But basically, the end result is that we're going to have some kind of 3x3 chute above this. That's going to be where our more panic-oriented villager iron golem generator is going to be. It's going to drop the golems down here, so we can actually shut off this general area's ability to produce golems once that's actually in action. But we're now going to build the actual platforms where we're going to multiply villagers. We need enough space, actually, for them to be able to produce their own food, which also means we need dirt up here, which I haven't got right now. But what I think we're going to do, since our platform's actually down here, where we're coming in, is to have a farm coming across just on this side, and then having all of the villager stuff onto these 3 sides. The general idea is pretty simple. We're just going to go ahead and make a floor. We're actually going to build down one for now. The end result is that this needs to be at least 2 tall, but also I'm going to have to sink the beds down, even though during my testing it seems like they can get into beds even if the roof is only 2 tall, so it shouldn't actually be a problem. But I'm just going to drop them down anyway, just to make sure that they don't have any problems, because there's a chance that villagers will suffocate in the roof and I don't need that happening. So we're going to have the beds here, we're going to have the job blocks over here. Well, we're going to raise it up and we're going to have job blocks over here. So basically, the beds will be sunk into the ground like so. Oh, that's not what I need. Where do I have more blocks? I do. And that's not where that needs to go. Alright, so basically the job blocks will be here, and then we'll have the beds lined up here. I think I'll use glass to actually close this in just to make sure I can see what's happening, or I can use fence gates. But from what I know, villagers, if they see a golem being spawned, supposedly they don't make a new one, so I probably want to close this off with glass. I'm not sure they can see through it. I don't think they can. I think that's how Minecraft works. But this is the general idea of how this area is going to be. I had to figure out how to actually put the chute on top of this. I probably had to make a second water elevator inside this room going up. And well, to get onto this platform, we're probably going to make a ladder because we need to keep this too high just to prevent iron golems from spawning inside here. Alright, and also for this water chute, we've got the very basic, you can't really see it back there, but this is an automatic dispenser. So if we chuck in, let's say, our fur planks, it will automatically just shoot them back out. Normally they'll slide all the way through here into the hopper here, but my magnet's actually picking it up. Which is actually kind of funny, because if I'm right next to here, my magnet will pick up anything the iron golems drop as well, so it's actually not that big an issue, whether I have this or not. But as you can hear, it's ticking away, and it will shoot everything out until it goes into the chest down here. Right now, actually, let's just sleep and then take a look at the bottom, because this is a giant eyesore and I have to show it off. Because we have to basically come down here, and we need to cover up the bottom of this, which currently, oh, that's a creeper, looks like that. It's just literally a flat saucer just floating in the air over there, so we need to somehow cover that up. Hi there. Need to cover that up, so I'm currently thinking on how to best do that. It's probably going to be some kind of pyramid shape coming down, and maybe have it connect back onto the spire to make it look structurally integral. Then stick some support beams out to support it. I don't think I want anything hanging down. The other choice is actually, because we've got 2 spires facing each other, we can actually have the support beams coming out of the other spire on the other side as well. But I now need to go steal a bunch of beds from a couple of the vanilla generated villages because I have no sheep farm. Alright, so currently this is kind of how we have set up. It's just a giant square. Don't know if I'll keep these corners. I might actually shave these down a bit just so that I can have a easier shape to work with when it comes to actually building what's underneath. Because that means I can actually turn it into a cone shape instead, maybe. But we're going to have some dirt coming through the middle here. We're going to actually just use this water to keep crops wet. Because I don't really know how I'm going to have water up here. I might actually have to shave this whole spire down. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of flat land up there where things can spawn. So I might have to go up there and might have to turn that into unspawnable land somehow. This spire probably might be okay. I think they need at least 2 by 2 to spawn. I'm not too sure. But we want everything to spawn inside here. This spire looks fine. I don't think any of the really high up parts may cause problems. It's just this opening up here. Actually, I don't have the scaffolding to go up and take a look right now, but I believe any problems were going to come from there. Alright, so, regardless, we're now going to lay down some of the beds, because we have them. We're still going to start with 2 farmers, because that's the easiest way, essentially, to make them multiply. I think all of these beds are basically going to be the same 2 colors, because I stole them all from the same village. Alright, so that's where all the beds are going to go. I still have some dark green beds. Okay, dark green beds. Let's just lay them all down. So basically, every single villager can have its own bed. Probably will end up in the spot where there'll be too many of them. Honestly, we basically have 2 farmers to start the multiplications. One of every other job, maybe some of the modded jobs as well. I don't know if any of the mods we have adds in a modded villager. But everything beyond that are going to be librarians. They're by far the most useful thing in the villages. Maybe we'll have an extra toolsmith or weaponsmith or armorsmith if we want actually a cheaper alternative to directly enchanted diamond gear. Because typically what I find is that, especially on a server, diamonds are hard to come by because you're already sharing them. So I prefer getting them from the villages, just disenchanting them with a grindstone, I believe they're called, and then just turning that into a enchanted gear from level 30 enchantments. So this is a general idea. I'm going to get the dirt up here and then we'll take another look at this from there. Alright, I just had a really stupid idea. We're going to start increasing our stock of willow logs. Decided to encase the actual villager area in green, so we're going to have to start making some of these trees. I don't know why I decided this on a whim, but I wanted something different from the floor and I didn't want to encase it in stone, so we're going to grow some willow trees. I can't remember how big these things are, but hopefully they'll grow. I still don't have a diamond axe, well, because for some unknown reason, they don't seem to appear inside dungeons. You know, diamond swords and then also diamond tools both do. But, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start encasing this whole structure, along with lighting it up. Do we have a good old block? Okay, so first off, we need to put the dirt down. We're just going to make this about as big as it can get, which means we're actually going to shave into our spire here a little tiny bit. Actually, I could just whack this out real hard. Let's have a look at this. Let's just go 1, 2. Actually, no, I need to whack out this layer as well. So do that, and then we'll go that, and that, and that, and we'll just whack this out too, and whack this. Oh. Whack this out too. Okay, that should give us the space we need to actually do this. We'll start working on the entrance to this place. It's going to have to use a ladder because we can't afford to have a golem spawn where we're going to be coming in from. We'll just keep the scaffolding where it is for now. We can't actually access it, I think. But I just need to check. So if I do this, this should stay wet, right? If I'm not misunderstanding how Minecraft works. As long as that corner can get wet, this should be fully functional. Let's have a look at this. Just splat this all down. We're going to put some seeds down. I don't know if they can handle the modded seeds, so we're just going to use regular wheat seeds. Make them eat bread. So that is going to start growing. We're going to make a new entrance coming in from over here. I should probably actually just torch this just to make sure nothing spawns up here for a little bit. As far as I know, nothing can spawn on top of the waters. Or even if they do, they're going to die on top of the campfire, because if they can't see anything, they should just eventually slide into the campfire and just start dying. Can I actually still access this completely? Oh, I can. Cool. Alright, that saves me a bit of trouble. Alright, so this is going to be the last general step at least. I'm going to try and save a little on glass and use panes here. But we're going to put up the glass, and that should make it so that, at the very least, it's a barrier preventing the villagers from falling into the middle like a bunch of idiots, because knowing how poorly Minecraft mobs work around player-created terrain of any kind, including flowing water, which, as far as I know, most mobs try to avoid water when they can, if they don't need to go into it. But for some reason, they will still walk straight into flowing water, which means that we have to definitely cover this up. But we're going to just use some scaffolding to get in and out. It's pretty much fine. We can very easily break the scaffolding back down once we need to jump back out of the middle portion. Because we do need to build above this. Actually, that's not really the most important thing at the exact moment, but we are going to build above it eventually. So we have currently this line. Also, I'm using these because I'm all very confident that if anything, even if I don't cover this up immediately, they can't spawn on top of the glass pane. They might be able to spawn on top of the pillar block that I'm using here, but we're going to cover all of this up here. I haven't decided what we're going to use for that. Might be glass, because I'm not sure what can spawn on top of glass. And at the very least, they can't spawn on glass. So I might just cover this in glass. I'm going to cover that in glass, which will be very awkward. I did get a bunch of sand. So much sand, in fact, that my shovel is basically gone from full to breaking. So we're going to lay down the rest of the beds here that I have stolen. We've got another bunch that I've already partially stolen from a village I've been to before. Seems like the other waystone I have for a forest village has been taken by someone else. So unfortunately that's gone, but we're going to go ahead and cover this as much as we can, and then we can actually move the villages. Oh yeah, I need to do something about this. Okay, we're just gonna make a quick path here. Do I want it to be 1 wide or 2 wide? We're going to just go straight from here. We're just gonna kind of loop it around the back of this. And then we just need to whack in into here. Is this, how thick is this? Okay, we're gonna whack in 1 more, and then we're just gonna drop it down. I think we're about here, right? Should be somewhere around here. We should... Where's my opening? Oh, here's my opening. Okay, so we just need to line that up, and we're going to make a ladder going straight up this hole here, and that will be our entryway. And we'll use some fence gates to actually lock in the villagers, because they don't know how to handle fence gates. Alright, so I think we're ready to move the village up. We've got the fence gate in. It's not completely covered yet, but I don't see any mobs getting in there. If I do, well, I just have to get more villagers at some point. How did you break the lead here? Can you please stay connected to this? Thank you. Also, because I need extra space, I need to lead you out. How do I lead you out again? There we go. We're gonna stick you over here as well. Have fun with that. You're gonna float there forever. Alright, so I'm gonna move the villagers. Unfortunately, I can only move 1 at a time, but we only need 1 guy up there to just check if anyone can die, which is kind of the important part. Hopefully they're nice and close to the trapdoor, so I can just yank them out of there. Okay, let's have a look at this. Alright, well, we're getting in there with them. Alright, you come here. Okay, then we're just going to go ahead and warp, 2 steps. Over here. And we're just going to chuck them down. So, this is currently our abomination that we have to cover up from the bottom. We now have the willows sticking out as well, as we can very clearly see. On the other side, in fact, it's actually dark enough underneath it to spawn mobs, which is also a fun fact. I don't like using a lot of light, so that's probably going to happen a lot since we're going to be building up high. But if we stay walking around up high, that's actually going to be less of an issue, because most of our buildings are going to be on the spires regardless. So we're now going to be up here. Let me just make sure I have a job block ready for this guy. Let's see. I did steal some composters from the village that I just visited. So we've got some composters. We're coming to here, close the gate. They can't open these, so that's fine. We're going to chuck down a composter. We're going to chuck down 2 composters, and then we're going to let me just check this again. Yeah, this should be fine, unless a zombie decides to jump into here from somewhere. This should be fine. So we're going to drop you. Drop you. But the farmer should be fine. He's still got his composter. Oh, yep. Okay, let us cover this up too. Alright, so based on a previous world that I've done this design in, at the very least, they can't spawn on glass, but they can spawn on top of half slabs, which is what I'd normally do for a roof if I wanted to very quickly make it spawn proof for hostile mobs, but apparently it doesn't work on neutral mobs. So we're going to cover this in glass, which may look horrific, but honestly we don't have much of a choice. We have to at the very least cover up all of the spots. One, make this too tall so that nothing can spawn there. Actually, I need to fill this with beds or have to fill up the floor a bit more before I can actually go ahead and make this into a full farm. Let me double for wood. The problem right now is that I don't actually have enough beds to fill this up. So we're actually going to have to fill this up for now at the very least. We can expand this back down by chopping it out again with an axe once we're actually got enough beds. But basically everything has to be too tall. So golems can't spawn here because there's no air block here. I don't think they can spawn their head into glass. And then on top of these blocks, we had to make sure that it's glass so they can't spawn on top of that. Then we had to watch to see if anything spawns up there. Luckily, we're building the roof out of glass so we can actually see up there, which I guess is the most convenient part of this build right now. And then finally, we'll have to jump into the middle just to see if we end up... Where's my dirt gone, actually? Dirt. To see if they can end up in any other weird spots. But we're gonna glass up this whole area and see how that goes. Alright, so pretty much have the final overall design, at least for the outside portion here. I need to somehow keep some of this uncovered. I don't think they can spawn on scaffolding, so let's just hope they can't. But we should have the glass here to cover this up now. Looking at this from the bottom, this is such an incredible eyesore, I actually don't know how I'm going to cover it. But the good thing is that since we're building so high up, unless I build on top, like higher up, like say up there or something, I don't need to cover up the top of that, or at least I don't need to cover up the top of it until I decide to build up that high. Because honestly, this is going to be an eyesore below and above. The difference being that this is going to be a giant eyesore up top because it's actually going to be a giant chute coming through the top of this, right up the middle. Don't actually have a good idea of how to cover that right now because I've just been staring at it. Maybe a lot of roof tiles of some kind might work, but that is already quite questionable. But either way, we're going to finish covering up this main villager living area, essentially, so that they can't jump on top of their job blocks and then escape. Honestly, the outside layer of glass would have been enough, technically, since that would have made it so that they can't do the free high jump to get out. But we're going to cover this whole thing up just to make sure that the golem spawning doesn't get messed up. Let me just see where we're going. And then I'll actually use that scaffolding spot I've got on the outside to work on the middle, because that's where everything kind of matters. I probably have to cover up this exact block as well, just to make sure nothing spawns on top of there for some reason. I wouldn't put it past Minecraft doing something weird like that and just spawning the golem on top of the glass pane, the one spot that can actually escape. But we'll have to see, because that's where we're basically going to have to make the chute from. Probably thinking right now to use a ton of roof blocks to kind of direct it inwards into a chute. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, let's just block this up too. There we go. Let's just sleep off the night to make sure nothing spawns on my face. And then we'll let the villager out. Alright, so we'll bring up the last villager. I've actually filled in most of this just to make sure nothing can really spawn in any weird spots. They shouldn't be able to spawn here because these are only too high. I've actually covered up most of this. I've replaced a lot of stone here. As you can see, everything is made to be only too high. Let's come into here, close that up. Alright, so we're going to drop the second villager now. Do I sell my hoe? I do. Okay. Let's hoe down. And then I also brought up all of the wheat and seeds that I still have, especially from that one little temporary farm I had going. So you can see actually at the back here that if you immediately seed these, even though they don't become wet, they'll actually stay in place. I thought at some point Minecraft updated so that you could actually do this, but apparently you can. So we're going to take a bunch of that and just keep that seeded up. I don't know if the villagers will replace it quickly enough to prevent that from turning back into dirt, but now is the time that we pretty much have a proper village set up here with water beds, because villagers no longer require doors, which is very good. So we're going to throw out all of our wheat, all of our bread. We're going to turn all of this hay bale back into wheat. We're going to throw this wheat out, throw this out. So farmers are supposed to pass this out to... Oh wait, am I sucking it back in? I'm tucking it back in. Alright, let's turn off the magnet and then try and throw all of this wheat back at them. But like I was saying, they're supposed to no longer require you to directly feed them. They'll pass this food amongst themselves on their own. So even though they have access in their inventory, they should know how to use it on... Did they not know how to deal with wheat? I thought they did. Wait, how do I get these villagers to multiply? They don't eat. Why do they not eat? Am I actually gonna have to just kidnap villagers? Wait, did they not take the bread either? Wait, why did... Oh, you, bread. Bread. Pick up the bread. Why would you not pick up the bread? I need you to fuck. Okay, I don't know why they're not taking the bread. Oh, this is a problem. Alright, so I've stolen the fisherman from the desert village. I'm a little worried because at least when I left him here, it doesn't look like he was losing his job, which he's supposed to do immediately after he loses his job block. He's still a fisherman over here. This guy, still a fisherman. I don't know if someone's traded with him before. I can only presume like 2 of us have been out that far. Okay, doesn't seem to be wanting to change the Oh wait, nope, what's happening now? They're going to sleep or is he going to go to the job block? Nope, they're going to sleep. Great. Alright, but I think I'm going to have to go through the mods and just see if any of them are affecting how villagers behave, because this is actually a big problem. I can grab another 2 guys, and then that will make up the 5 needed to spawn iron golems, so I think I'm going to do that just to start off, and then if I need to change out the fireplace for something a bit more lethal, if I can actually do it. I do have access to, I think, some nether wood, so I should actually be able to... Actually, I think I have some in my inventory somewhere? Not sure. I have to go look for it, but these guys aren't cooperating, so I'm going to have to go and see if I can work out what the heck's wrong with them. But next time, we're going to build the actual upper part of this, which is going to be the zombie-powered panicking villager iron golem spawner, which is going to be way up top. We're going to cover this general front area up with a chute of some kind, so that they drop in the 3x3 straight down the middle and land on top of the hopper, so that these guys creating golems from gossiping can create golems, and then the guys up top can drop golems down for us by panicking. But that will be the goal. Alright, so anyways, that will be it for this episode of VtopiaSMP. If you like this content or you want to see any other content that I do live streams, shorts, and regular video content. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you all next time.